Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where last episode we were attacked over here again, and we have decided, oh right, this always goes onto the faster speed at default now. We have decided that we're going to change up how we're doing our defenses. We're going to go here in this orientation where it's much better than this. So I'm just looking at our porter stop here. Well, we have a lot of work to do over this way, so we'll let that go for now. We've got some repairs to do out over here, of course. We're working on it. What we really need right now is our maze to go up, and it's going down. So that's not ideal. That's for sure. We could think about getting more farms online. We do have these two that are not currently operational, though, and we could also always import additional food. That's an option. And it's probably not a terrible one. Okay, that's just accepts. Sure. So, yeah, our food is absolutely a bit of a concern. We're trying to supplement our food as best we can. We could get rid of this Polk farm, or rather this Megui farm, and that is a thing that is a distinct possibility. Although I think I still want to have at least one. Although these brewers... they do actually have enough. Do we have other breweries elsewhere? It seems like we do. It seems to be supplying, that single farm seems to be supplying them for now. So that's fine, I suppose. This is going to build us a little bit of additional space up over here. We failed to send our levies and our tribute. Not surprising, considering what we were dealing with. So that's understood. We're going to need to put in our walls up over here. That's going to go like that. And then I'm going to do some towers here. So we're going to do a tower, I think, here. And then like here. And then an additional one here. I don't like that spacing. It's blocked here. So let's get rid of this guy. And do I prefer the spacing here or here? I kind of prefer it here. It's going to be off-center either way because we have an unusual amount of, like, wall here. I don't love it, but it'll do. It'll do. So this road is going to need to be connected up over here. That's for sure. Let's just connect it like that. I definitely don't love this road connection here. Why is this common home connected there? If we were to get this road out of here, would that change its connection to be down here? That would be better. That would definitely be better. And this porter stop, it mostly makes its way up over here. Now, this guy, he's apparently struggling. I don't know. We'll see if he gets that over with. So, of course, we do need to get some additional barracks here going, or not really additional barracks, but we need to get people in here. We took pretty heavy losses in that last attack. No doubt about that, and we need to get that further online. I was hoping that when I restarted the game, this guy would get fixed. I remember him from last episode, but alas, that is not the case. So we're going to need a bunch of stone up over here. This porter stop should pretty much do the trick on supplying it with stone, in theory. But this is a slightly awkward road path up here. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. So that seems fine. What we really need is maize. And we need maize to make its way into these noble compounds. Although this noble compound has changed. This is now ambience holding back its development. So to that end, I want to go in here. I want to do fruit gardens or small gardens. We could put a gardener right here. We could do fruit gardens along like this. And then small gardens like this. And that'll generate us a little bit of trees, but more importantly, ambience. We can also increase ambience in this area with stone roads, and I'm going to do that just this block here. That's it. And then this road going up to our noble district, where our royal palace is. So that'll be fine. We'll get that going. That should increase ambience. But that means that this now has maize, and that's very, very good. So if we come down over here, this needs maize. This one needs residents. Fair enough. We do need some jobs down here for the nobles to do, and I don't honestly know what are considered noble jobs and what are not. Although I know for a fact that the fortress and the barracks do have noble jobs. Can we fit one in over in this area? The answer to that is probably no. Probably no. We can definitely think about farming some of this out over here, though. We're no longer actually concerned about, well, if they attacked from down here, but I don't think they can. We're no longer concerned about being enclosed because we have the objective for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this road down here, like this. And we'll start opening some of this up to come down here. And then we could think about a barracks, but if this small cottage was over here instead. So if we were to relocate this to go here, can we fit a barracks here, or is this square required for that? That's a question I have right now. Let's see if we can solve that. So a fortress would go, in theory, here. Yeah, I think it would fit here. Okay, let's do it. So we'll get that moved eventually. That'll be fine. Now, up over here, I want to see how we're doing on this. Okay, we're definitely getting this in there. There's a lot of stone in this area, so this should be fine. There should be no significant issue with this. It should just take a little while. Cloth to develop. Okay, so we have some cloth weavers down over here. They have nowhere to deliver their cotton. Really? This border yard is at 6 of 6. I guess that's true, isn't it? Okay, so we can have a porter yard anywhere collect that. So where do we have a porter yard that is not currently good on that? And we also probably need some cloth weavers over in this area. So I want to put in a cloth weaver here. There we go. And do we have another cloth weaver around here right now? Well, I don't know, but that'll start producing us some cloth over that way. That's good. But we definitely need a place to deliver the cotton to. So we could think about like this porter yard up here, actually. So this would be not cotton buds, but just directly cotton. So this would be set to either getting or balance. Balance should be fine. Okay, so now they should have places to deliver their cotton. And that probably means that we should consider having a cloth weaver down here. Oh, they can produce everyday garments for commoners from Megui fiber. I didn't read this. That's definitely interesting. We could put this in up over here. That would fit. Okay, do it. And then make sure that that's connected up over there. So that seems fine. And then we would be able to have another one up near this noble compound. So a cloth weaver would then go in up over here as well. So that, of course, means that this might be a little overstrained. We could also do imports. That is true. The tooltip pointed that out. I don't know about that right now. I think for the moment, I'm going to say no to imports. I would rather produce it domestically if we can. So let's get that going in. That will get these cloth weavers going anyway. And there's a fire in the city. Yeah. This might be enough to get this noble compound serviced as well. We'll see. Where's the market for this? Out over here? Okay. Yep. So that's understood. We're at 403 maize right now. Okay, so our maize is definitely slowly developing. We do need workers down over here, so we're waiting for some people to come in there. That seems fine. Okay, this has now been moved, so we should be able to cram in a fortress right here. Perfect. We'll allow Empire service. And the idea here is that that will give these nobles a job. We do need cloth, and we could actually put in another weaver down over here. I think we're going to be short on Megui is my current suspicion, but we could fit in a weaver here. That would prevent us from bringing a road this way, though, and I think I would rather do something kind of like that. And put in the cloth weaver here. Like this. Yeah. So that seems good. How much Megui do we have on hand? 23 here. 4 here. So we have a little bit. And we do have constant production of it. So that's understood. Prosperity is a major concern right now. Culture is coming up. But what we're most interested in right now is getting this noble compound upgraded, right? So this one up here still needs cloth, and if we check in on the status of our cloth weaver up here, this sauna is strained. Okay, that's definitely noted. This is serving a lot of locations around here. Another sauna up over this direction is probably not a terrible idea, but it's quite big. Oh, what's this? Ruins of the stone quarry. We'll rebuild that. I didn't know that that stone quarry was destroyed. Can we fit a sauna here? That might help a little bit anyway. So a sauna up over this direction, maybe. Yes, we can just squeak that in there. It's not really going to be lowering any usage of this one, unfortunately. We could put a sauna up this direction, though, which would lower some usage. So that'll be fine. We'll get that going. Okay, there's a fire in a kiln somewhere. I'm sure it'll be fine. So this cloth weaver is currently lacking Megui. That's understood. It's not quite reaching this porter yard. Okay. I wonder if it'll still deliver it. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm not 100% certain on that one. I do think that down over here would be a decent place to put in another Megui farm. That said, this porter yard doesn't currently accept it. So we can do a balance here, and then this would be like maize and fruit. I'd like to also do chili, but that's not going to be a thing. So for right now, a farmer's hut could go in like up here. I really don't like that position. This is a much better position here. So if we were to run this road up this way, like this, and then put in a farmer's hut here, that would just barely reach up over here. Actually, I don't even want it there. I want it here. The question is, how much Megui can we actually get in here? The answer is a decent amount. That's 19. We can reach it all the way up over here. That's 25. That's 26. And then we could take this down this way. Like this. And just have it come down here. So we'll have to come back to that, but that's okay. Cool. So that looks good for now. We'll get that underway. Eventually that'll get there. Now these are still not online over here. So that's definitely a concern. This guy up over here still needing access to cloth, and I'm wondering about the status of this cloth weaver. Okay. So we're keeping an eye on this. I'm not 100% certain if we're going to deliver this up here. City is in debt right now. Okay, that's probably just due to trading. Well, we're definitely having some issues with our finances right now. We definitely need to get an export done here. So we're importing a lot of maize and salt still. I feel like this is too much obsidian. Let's bring this down to like 80 obsidian and then like 80 clay. We'll just back this off. So our temple is complete. That's neat. This fortress down over here, that's going to take some time. And yeah, this cloth weaver is currently lacking staff at this moment, but we should be fine on that front. I'm not terribly concerned about staff there. Okay, so this is looking reasonable over here. We can now get additional Megui beds down over here. This desert crop cannot tolerate irrigation. Ah, because this is too close to the swamp. Right. Okay. So we can fit it in a couple of places. But not that many, actually. A lot of this is irrigated. So 30, 31, and 32. Well, that's awkward. Okay. But we can start getting some additional production done out over here in these reeds. So that's going to be very good for us in terms of our food. So that should be great. In theory. Anyway. In theory. Oh, okay. That just flashed black for a moment. That's awkward. Hopefully that doesn't continue. So I do want to definitely be thinking about getting some additional work done over here, right? And what that basically means is that we want to do... Do we not have access to Chinampas? Oh, right here. Okay, perfect. So these must be placed close to land or canals, right? So we can get Chinampas going in here. These are not considered placed close to land or canals. This is all swamp up over this direction, right? So then the question is, these would be like canals? Okay, I just want to build a couple of these, or maybe even just like one for right now. I don't really know how they work. So let's just build one for the moment, and then we'll see how that works. Do we plant other crops on it? Presumably. And this is all swamp out over here. So, as a hypothetical, can we put Chinampas anywhere out over here? No. It must be placed close to land or canals. And by close, it appears to mean one tile. It must be adjacent to land or canals. So if we were to have a canal that goes through like this, we can build like that. So that means that, hang on, we can now build out over here. Okay, this is fine then. No problem. I still want to get this built. We'll see what that ends up feeling like. That should be interesting. Okay, so checking in up over here. The real question is, are we going to have Megui be delivered up over this way? I don't think we are, so I think what we need, actually, is a porter stop up over this direction, and its goal is going to be to balance Megui for right now. So a porter stop for that, and then we'd need one up over here as well. I believe we put in a cloth weaver up here. So, oh, apparently I minimized the game. Oh, that's what causes that flash. Okay, that's awkward. Well, now we know. This is a Unity engine game. Unity does weird things when it's minimized. So we're going to put in a porter stop here. This is going to be balancing Megui as well. So its goal, its only goal right now is to be a repository of Megui for these cloth weavers, right? So that's fine. We've got our cloth weaver there, and then we'll have one down over here. That's going to need something similar. Where are we even going to fit in a porter stop over here? If we were to move this large cottage one block over, which we can't do, we could put it in here. There's this porter yard here. Does it really need to have stone at this moment? Or do we even need to accept, like, fruit? Let's turn off the fruit for now, and let's go to balance Megui. Okay, so that should be good there. Then we've got this one down over here. And that's this border yard. It should be fine. So that should be okay as far as the weavers go, in theory. Cool. At least once all that gets built. So that should be fine. Cloth, in order to develop, is going to be a thing. We are in debt, but only very slightly right now. And now we're out of debt, so that's good. Fingers crossed that continues. These guys are all sliding down the road. They're apparently dousing the Sawyer and the Porter yard. Is there a fire? I don't know of one currently. Oh, hello, what's this? That's a farmer's hut out over here. So I don't know if that was destroyed by the invaders or if that was destroyed. 31 out of 32 plots. Cool. We'll grow a little bit of maize here. I don't know if that was destroyed by the invaders. That's pretty far away from where they invaded from. Although it could have been, or it could have burned down. There's a possibility that we don't have a well dipper around this way, and we definitely don't. So we could put one in. This would basically mean a ramp here. And then there's a swamp here that might be blocking us from building a well dipper right over here. I'd love to slot one in right here, but that is indeed blocked. We could put it here. Can we build a road over swamp? Yes. Okay, so that'll allow us to put in a service down over here. I like it. Okay, so this Chinampa has been built at this point. Actually, it's not yet done. Yeah, not yet done there. So we still need 10 clay down over here. The question, though, is, do we plant like a chili bed in it, or does it grow its own things? I don't know yet. That's not completed. So we'll wait for that to be finished. Hopefully it'll get done soon. Hopefully. So down over here, this fortress is going to be finished up eventually. This will help us boost up our might, which is, of course, important. And we should be coming out of debt eventually. I hope. I hope. Let's not import chili. Thanks. I was hoping to just accept chili there. But we could also set this to like balance Megui down over here. So that'll be relatively fine. This cotton weaver has nowhere to deliver the cotton still. Interesting. In that case, we should probably just have this be cotton, right? Well, it could also be Megui. So that'll be fine, and then we can do accepts cotton. There we go. Now they have a place to deliver their cotton to. So that'll be okay. We are still struggling a little bit with our financials. So that is certainly understood. We'll get there, though. So up over here, we still need cloth. What do we have going on over here? Diversion. Well, we have an alcove right here, but it's not currently, it doesn't have any staff. We are providing some diversion here, though, so it should be relatively okay. Hopefully that'll get solved. This cloth weaver up over here, we need staff for, which should not be a problem in theory. Yeah, that should be okay. Down over this way, this cloth weaver, again, needing staff, which these cottages will get it there eventually. Have we finished up the Chinampa over here? Just about. There, now it's done. So the question is this now a location that we planned on? No. Okay. It's at 10% maturity. Maybe it needs to get to 100% maturity before we can plant on it. I don't know. That'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll learn how to use this eventually, I'm sure. This will be a very useful thing for us to know how to do. So that iron is in the fire. For now, that seems fine. We're up to 480 maize at this point, and we are currently positive in our axe monies, so that looks good. We're working up on this barracks a little bit. We're trying to get our might trained up, but this fortress coming online is going to be pretty helpful for that too. Eventually, we'll have the stone that we need down here, but we don't currently. Okay. So this well dipper will happen over here eventually, but there's not really any porter yards anywhere nearby here, and that's kind of by design. Although, that said, there's definitely a lack of pickup over here, but I think, yeah, we are actually reaching all of these. So that seems absolutely fine then. This one is reaching all of these as well, but this is only timber and stone in this porter stop. So we should probably move this over to be like maize and fruit now. Like this. So that'll be reasonably fine for the moment, helping us reach some of these down over here. But actually, we do have plenty of reach now that I look at it. So no, this should actually be stone and timber. Okay, so that seems fine. But I do think that we should think about putting something like a porter stop over here to help us build out over this way. So that would end up looking something like this. And this porter stop would, of course, have timber, stone, and ideally clay. Maybe just timber and clay. I don't think we actually need much stone down over this way. So we can do something kind of like that. That might take a while to build. We'll see. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on getting our noble compounds leveled up. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.